the coastal area.
Yeah, of course, because yeah, it's located in a coastal area. And let me check if I started. Yeah, it's okay now. Of course. Okay. Okay. Well, and as you said, this is a cliff. You know that. The surface of rock, or for example, a place, and it's seaside, so we say yes, it's cliff and coastal cliff. So we can actually, we are describing what we see. So that's really easy, just describe what we see. And then uh, the last line, you said where it is subject to the movement of the ocean. As you can see, yeah, of course, we have the movement of the ocean wave, like, this way and again that way. So this is my overview. So just what I see, you know that in this type of actually diagram, we don't have any figures here. Just, some words, stages, and we discuss them one by one. Okay, so this is my overview. What can I see? This is the way that we write our overview for process diagram. And now it's time to write our two main bodies. So could you please read paragraph 3, so main body 1?
The first diagram shows how the incoming wave fills a large chamber and forces the air inside. This way up the column and through the turbine. The pressure of the air rotates the turbine, which generates a current of electricity. The process does not end there, for the structure is able to continue producing power as the sea what how can I say that?
Recede.
Recede, as can be seen in the second diagram.
Okay, very good. So first of all, as you can see, so you say sometimes we need to, because as I told you, so this is aisles. So we can say recede or move back, move away, move back. So we can say, but move back, maybe, I don't know, it's a bit basic to be used here. But of course we can say, so recede is a better word for it, so that we use it. Okay, so the first diagram. So we are talking about, as you said, how the incoming wave fills a large chamber here. It's coming, and as you can see, it fills large chamber, okay? And what's happened? And forces the air inside this space up. And what's happened up the column and through the turbine? Then the pressure of the air rotates the turbine, okay, which generates electricity. Okay, so this is the first one. And here, if the process ends, no, the process doesn't end. And the structure is able to continue again, producing power as the sea, oceans move back. The
Yeah.
wave move back. So how? Now the second one. And the second paragraph, okay, or the last, second main body or the last paragraph. Now again, what we can see, could you read it please?
As the water now flows away from the structure, it draws air back down the column and downwards through the turbine in the same direction as the
Yeah,
previous upflow of air. The
yeah,
turbine continues to turn, thus generating even more electricity.
yeah, of course. So as the water now flows away, move back from the structure, it's pull air back down the column and downwards okay, to down through the turbine, again in the same direction. First went up, now goes down. And what happens again? The air flows, the turbine actually start rotating, and just again we have generating electricity. So this way we can easily write our essay about process diagram. So Alex, tell me, do you find any difficult, I don't know, part or something that you didn't get this part for this essay?
Um, no.
Yeah, of course. I think it's clear. So you only, the process, actually the process diagram is, I think, it can be easy, so like comparing maybe the other charts and graphs. So I think it's not really difficult because, there is no figure here, just, some steps that are given. So you only need to use some words to link maybe. And here, for example, especially in process, not this one, so especially when it's linear, so we need to use discourse markers. And for example, we need to put the actual steps one by one from the beginning in order. First, second, after that. So we use these words, and I will teach you how to write. Okay, so now do you need to do another diagram, process diagram, or no? It's clear for now.
No, it's clear for now.
Okay, very good. So we can move on to the speaking section because we completed writing. For now, that's enough. And again, at the next session, we will discuss another type of it. So to complete task one, and then, of course, we'll get started with task two. Okay, so let me close this, erase the board, and let's get started with speaking section. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of the day and talk. Okay. So let me see about the most common topics. I remember that we discussed the most common topics in IELTS speaking. So I think we discussed family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about weather? Did we discuss it before?
Yes, we did.
Weather. Okay. How about environment? I don't think.
Nah, we
Okay,
didn't
so
talk
okay,
about
you can
it.
choose. We have some topics like technology, environment, health and fitness. So because all of them are actually common topics in speaking, so you can choose one and we can discuss. Just just please remember and then tell me what, because we need to know what topics we've discussed before so that we don't repeat again. So tell me which one: environment, technology, health and fitness, sports. So all of them are common topics, so you can choose one of them. Shopping, music.
No.
So tell me about your favorite. You don't have any? Like, maybe for a young,
My
I,
needs can
yeah.
do with environment because
Ah,
I feel like there's some like really argue about the place
ah,
that in the Olympic, the Sen's River.
of course.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think about Olympic this year? So did you like that specialty opening? How was that, you think?
I don't know. I don't think that it was a good opening. I know.
It
It's
was
just
good. I
yeah.
think, I think it was a bit, I don't know. It wasn't as we expected. I don't know why, but it was not, I think. Like,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
like it's not like I expected it's gonna be. It's like
yeah,
a little bit it's something. It's like I don't know. I shouldn't call it a mess, but I know it's not
yeah,
that bad. But yeah.
of course. I do agree. I don't know why. What was that, really? So I didn't like it. So I really I expected more, really a lot. Just that was Olympic, and after 4 years again. So because I remember 4 years ago, it was like duration of Corona, COVID-19. I
Yeah,
remember, so it was, and it was held in Japan. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
2020. Yeah, was held in Japan. So if I want to compare 4 years ago, despite actually, that condition, coronavirus, and that it was really difficult to, but I think that one was better than this one. I don't know why. Friends,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, there was so much complaining about the Olympic
yeah.
2024, so yeah.
Yeah, of course, because everyone, I think people, most of people have the same idea about, especially the opening of Olympic. It was not good at all. So it was not good. I can say that. Okay,
Yeah.
France was not successful, we can say. So, but maybe we will see. Maybe 4 years later, let's see what will happen. Well, okay. So you watch Olympic Games?
But some Olympic Games, I watched
So what?
the volleyball
Ah,
Olympics. Yeah.
of course. So volleyball is your favorite one?
Yeah, probably because I can play it better than other sports I can play.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of ice skating. So just, sometimes
Oh,
I record, yeah, of course, sometimes I record and, I download and record and then watch them again because, it's my favorite sport. I think and I think it's really difficult. I find it really difficult. So I never thought about, I didn't know, going ice skating or something like that. I think it's really difficult.
yeah.
Well, so let's talk about our environment and with the first question for you. So, do you think pollution is a big problem nowadays? Just let me say that these questions are related to part one. So as you know, you don't need to give a lot of details because this is part one. Maybe one or two lines and just about 25 seconds for each question is enough. Okay. So do you think pollution is a big problem nowadays?
Personally, I think it was is a really big problem because it's one of the reason causing climate change. One
Yeah.
of the biggest problem that we're facing right now, and it's also being like the really difficult problem can having a great solution for it now because there was so much pollution everywhere, pollution, and
Yeah.
there's other type of pollution.
Yeah, of course, of course. So as you said, and I do agree with you, it's a massive issue, a really big one. And yeah, of course, you talked about climate change and global warming. So both of them. So climate change and global warming, especially nowadays, that can be two actually maybe the most important issue. Of course, there are different issues that we will discuss, but here. Uh, Let me actually write something on the board because we're gonna have some words. Yeah, first of all, your answer was good, so that was for the first one. So of course, but this one, pollution is a massive, a really big issue. So of course it's I, so we need to use some formal words. So it's not bad to say yeah, and especially yeah, climate change and global warming. So these two. So, and that uh, human, we pollute the ocean. So you can use this word because that we have the verb. So we pollute the oceans with, plastic waste. Lots nowadays. So it's something, and of course, we release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. So again, another word, greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. So, yeah, that's really important, and we need to do something, of course. So, first of all, it's not bad to actually know the first word, ecosystem, because we're going to talk about it again and again. So, ecosystem, our environment, so you can call it as, that ecosystem, environments, they are the same, so you can say. So, if you don't want to use environment, you can say ecosystem. So why not? That's a good one. And now the next question. Okay, what do you do to prevent the environment from pollution?
Um, well, because just me, I couldn't change much about the environment that has already been polluted. But for me, I think it's like small actions like putting trash in the right place and just picking up the trash on the road. I mean, small action, yeah, just doing it to producing as much pollution as I can.
Of course. So what do you think about recycling?
Yeah, I think it's a really common thing that people pop up as a way to
Yeah, well, so
protect the environment.
of
Yeah.
course, of course. Just let me say something. This is part one. And as you know, in part one, you directly answer the questions about yourself, what you do. So in part three, as I told you, questions and answers are a bit abstract. So you give general answers about people, about society. Here in part one, you only give direct, just, okay, you talk about yourself. So you can say, of course, I try to recycle, okay, as much as I can. So just, I, for example, recycle as much. Okay, here I want to use garbage, but there are different words. For example, in British English, we say rubbish. If you want to know the difference, they are the same.
Yeah.
In American, we say garbage. You can say leader. Okay, so all of them, trash. Okay, so for example, as much rubbish or garbage as I can. Okay, so for example, you can say that if you walk rather than, for example, drive. So because, if you take public transport, you know that. So because why? It's better to walk when possible rather than driving or, for example, I don't know, taking public transport. Because we need to reduce, I want to reduce my carbon footprint. What is that? Do you have any idea about this word carbon footprint?
Yeah, I know about it, but I don't know how to explain about it.
Yeah, of course. So as you know, this is the damage you cause to planet by using, of course, carbon, and we need to reduce it.
Yeah.
So that is the damage. So carbon footprint, that is the damage you cause to the planet by using carbon, and we need to reduce it. So for this question, okay, you have one phrase that is a really good one and you can use it, okay, and of course the first one, waste. So waste, rubbish, I would prefer waste especially. Like, it's a general word for rubbish, for garbage, for example, leader. And you know that leader can be used as a verb and noun, both of them, verb and noun, so you can use it. So why not? You can easily. So if you want, you can say garbage. If you can't, if you want, you want to say rubbish, so it's okay. So I recycle, first word, as much waste or as much rubbish, as much garbage as I can, and I walk when possible rather than driving or taking public transport in order to reduce my carbon footprint. Okay, is it okay now?
Yeah.
So just maybe 2 lines and a short answer about you. And you only, just let me say something, because there is a misunderstanding about the use of idioms, phrases, IELTS vocabulary. You don't need to do it too much. So some kind of, okay, the more vocabulary, more words I use, for example, the better score I can know. Just, your answer should be really natural. How we speak naturally. Of course, advanced vocabulary, but not too much to make your answer really complicated so that, I don't know, everyone said, okay, what was that? It was a scientific, for example, research. So you don't need to do it. Well, number 3, question number 3, part 1. Are
Okay.
you worried about climate change?
Of course, I really think that climate change is a really big problem now because it's changing so much from the environment to the weather. Everything is being affected by the global warming that is recently happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. So that was good. As you did it, but maybe a bit better. So yeah, you need to. Why not? When I say climate change, it's good to paraphrase my question so that you show me. First, you have enough vocabulary. Second, you understand what I said. So you can say, of course, yes is good. Yes is good. Why not? You can say yes or no. Yes, for example, I do. For example, yes, I am. Yes, for no, I'm not. So, but of course, sure, most definitely. So all that means when you want to give actually a certain answer like yes, why not? Most definitely. Okay, most definitely. So, for example, you can say that, actually in my country and all the countries, I think the weather is changing because of global warming. Climate change, I use climate change, you say global warming. So why not? In order to avoid repeating my word again. Don't use my phrase again, try to use another one. So of course the weather is changing because of global warming, and we get bad storms, typhoon, and than before. So I think we need to do something. Okay, I think governments, people, we need to. So governments and of course individuals, people. So governments and individuals need to do something, needs to take an action to fight, to deal with, to combat climate change. So this one, as you can see, I have this one, climate change, and to combat, this is a new phrase that you can use it. Instead of saying people, I say individual, so why not? And I say global warming instead of climate change at the beginning. So, and that's it. This is my answer, okay?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Of course, let me say, Alex, your answer was right. I don't want to say, oh, it was, for example, it was not. No, it was right. But yeah, we need to change. So for general speaking, that was really good. For us speaking, it was not enough. Okay. And Alex, let me ask you another question about maybe the ways that we damage the environment. How we damage the environment, you think?
Well, I think um, I don't know, our actions, like people usually just like having their muscle memory and just throwing trash out, and yeah, it's already causing the pollutions and like wasted water and electricity, also causing a massive uh change into the ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, very good. So the first one, as you said, the use of maybe overuse of, yeah, something like water, electricity. So, and it's not actually, the problem is not with renewable sources. We have problem with non-renewable sources like gas, fossil fuels, and overuse of them. So overuse of non-renewable resources can cause massive, maybe like disaster in the future. We won't have them anymore because they are non-renewable. So let me write. So the first one, as you said, number one, overuse of non-renewable. So you know that we have renewable and non-renewable, okay? Renewable resources. That is like oil, like gas, like fossil fuels. Okay, so some non-renewable. Of course, you can use renewable. Renewable means, like, for example, we can produce, we can make it again, we can generate electricity again. So this is renewable. So why not? We can use renewable. And for example, solar panels. So you know that solar panels, yeah, are renewable, so that we can create, we can make again, we can produce. So again, so this is about the first one. And the second issue that is really important, deforestation. What is deforestation? You know that. Cutting down trees. So for some, I don't know, industrial reasons, I don't know, they want to produce something, so they're cutting down trees, or I don't know, for some reasons. So deforestation is the second one. And we have another one, that is poaching. What is poaching, Alex? Killing animal and killing endangered animal, because it's different from hunting. Killing endangered animals illegally. So this one, what is that? So for example, I don't know, because of their skin, because of their fur, because of, I don't know, their horn. So they poach, because hunt is chasing an animal and killing. So it's okay. For example, animals hunt. They chase, they follow each other, and they kill. So we have prey and hunter. Hunter, an animal who that hunts, and prey, an animal that is hunted. So we will discuss it later in actually the topic of animals. Here we're talking about, so poaching, killing endangered. You know that endangered animals are animals that maybe will become extinct in the future, like some specific species types. So
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know, tigers, maybe in the future we don't have this actually animals anymore. So this is the actually the next one. And you mentioned this one is really important, illegal dumping. So what is that? Illegal dumping, putting waste putting waste into a landfill or the sea, of course. The sea without permission. And we actually every day we hear a lot of news so regarding this illegal dumping. They put all the waste into the ocean, and actually they cause many sea creatures die. So it's something like it's really immoral. So, and of course we have, I don't know, pollution, noise pollution, light pollution. So that can be noise, air, light, so all of them pollution. So, and this is number 5, I think, and number 6. Yeah, you know that most transportation, that of course it can cause noise and air pollution. So
Yeah.
most transportation. So, and of course we discuss. So they are actually the ways that we damage the environment. Okay, now this way, if we don't do, of course we can protect. So, and tell me, Alex, do you use renewable energy?
Wait, what is that?
Oh, renewable, as I told you, renewable, like for example, solar panels. So we can create, we can produce again, but non-renewable, it means like, for example, oil. We have natural resources and one day they will be finished if we overuse. So one day we won't have oil maybe, but some resources, like for example, energy can be produced again. For example, we can get the sunlight, okay, to, for example, make electricity, to generate electricity. So this is renewable. Every day we have sunshine, so it's okay. So this is renewable. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about it and tell me if you use or no.
Well, I don't think so. Because probably I don't see in Vietnam that they're like rarely using renewable electricity, but yeah, there's could be some house, but we're mostly using just the normal electricity thing. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, very good. So, yeah, that was good. Yeah, of course, you can say not, no, or for example, not at the moment. As you said, for example, you can say, I want, for example, I want to change my house to solar power using solar panels. So solar power from sun, you know that we get sunlight to, I don't know, to produce, to generate electricity, or for example, to heat our house. But, of course, it's not possible because it's not really common. And, the panels are too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, to buy. So of course, we still use fossil fuels. So here you say, teacher, I don't know how to answer this question because, I have no idea about it. I only say that you answer this question using 2 words. Okay, the first one, you can say that no, and you can say, actually, I want to change, for example, my home or my house to solar power, but the panels are too expensive so to buy. So it's not easy. So unfortunately, we still use fossil fuels. Now you show that I know the meaning of non-renewable and renewable. Fossil fuel is non-renewable. So we have some resources and maybe one day they will finish. Okay, so we overuse and so this way you can make your answer. Okay,
Yeah.
and tell me, do you take an interest in nature? Are you interested in nature means?
Um, Probably because I was having some research about the environment in my school, so I does care about the environment.
I do. I
Yeah, I
do.
do.
Okay, very good. Well, so yeah, you can say why not. So of course, just here, why say I say nature, you need to say wildlife. You know, as I told you, your synonym. So of course, I love, I do like. Do is really good, especially for paraphrasing. That's especially for emphasizing is really good. So that was really good. Yes, I do love. I do like wildlife. For example, you know, I really like to, for example, have some, I don't know, pets and, you know, I do cure, I do some research, okay? So you can talk about this. If you have any kind of maybe animals or something in your garden, you can mention why not. For example, you know, my garden is a really good habitat, the place that they can live. Habitat for example, I don't know, for bats, something. And so I think it's not bad. Of course, you can only see them at night. Let me say something. This is a good word here. Of course, you don't need to use it now, but nocturnal means, especially about animals, when you can see them at night, like bats. So, for example, when something, of course, not only about animals, when something happens at night, it can be something that, you know, is active at night rather than during the day. We say it's nocturnal. And, you know, bats, they are nocturnal animals. So because, you know, you can only see them at night.
Hmm.
So, being active at night. Okay. And well, let me see if we have, okay, so this is the first part, and now we're gonna move on to the second part of speaking, cue card. Okay, well, just let me give you some alternatives because I asked you, what do you do? For example, when you want to say that I try. So how to say that, for example, I try to save, I try to protect. So you need to learn the words, okay? So different phrases. So of course, I'm careful, for example, to recycle. So it's okay, you know this. You want to say that I try, for example, I try to save, I endeavor. So this one is really good. Endeavor means try. And you can strive, try. So you can use them. For example, I endeavor to turn off the lights in my home. I endeavor to turn off, endeavor to, the preposition. Strive to. So preposition for these two words like try is to. Okay, and another one, I make an effort to. I try again. Okay, well, okay, so now let's move on to the second part of speaking, and I want to talk I want you to talk about the cue card. And so let me write the cue card on the board and then we can talk about it. So just let me. Well, describe an environmental problem you've heard about. You should say what it is and how long it has existed, how it affects people's lives, okay? And explain how you think the problem will develop in the future. Okay, about it for 1 minute and then start talking. So just what you think. You can use the words and you know that we uh, learned just now.
Well, air pollution is the most um, environmental problem that I was really into, because I think it's existed a very long time ago, but now since the early 2000s, there was big, massive growth of the air pollution, and I think it's affect a lot when it can cause the mental health to people, um, the lungs and everything. It's affect, and it's also causing a big climate change since the ozone field is getting ripped out because of the air pollution. And I think because of the like building industry, fashions, everything is growing now. So it's probably can stop the problem to be, being reduced.
Yeah,
But because of it's probably getting worse in the future, so I think this problem should be, having a really good and great, um, I don't know, solutions. Like
yeah,
at least gonna stop it not, you know, being the worst things could happen in the future.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very good. Well, so first of all, you've heard about how to begin my answer. Of course, nowadays there are a number of serious environmental problems being covered by the media. Okay? But one I would like to talk about is air pollution. So again, we can say that, nowadays there are maybe a number, maybe a lot of serious environmental problems. Now I need to, as I told you, grammatical structures, grammar range, okay, problems, passive, being covered by the media. The one I'd like to talk about is the air pollution. So this is about the beginning, okay? And now you said that maybe actually it goes back a long time ago. So how to say? How to say? You can say, I think, so I think it started to become a concern, I don't know, a long time ago. Long time ago. So here, and of course, we see that people are increasingly worried about it. So, but I know that, people all around the world are increasingly worried about it. So this is the second part. Okay, and now you need to, yeah, of course, every day. So we're damaging. So how long we answered, how it affects you, as you said, of course. So we learned greenhouse gas. So we can say, why not? We send large amounts of greenhouse gas emission into this atmosphere every day. So I say, for example, human send a large amount of greenhouse gas emission. So you know that the meaning of emission, to actually send to the atmosphere, emissions into the atmosphere. So, and what happened when we do this, of course, and this contribute to global warming, which contribute like this cause to global warming and climate change. So of course, this affects everyone on the planet, not only nature, so everyone. So for example, and then how, yeah, you can talk about this one. I just, for example, illegal dumping. So, and then explain it. Every day we get a lot of news about putting waste into the sea, and of course that causes, the death of a lot of millions of sea creatures. Sea creatures. So this is the first one, and it's a kind of pollution. And after that, we talked about transportation. So we can say that most transportation, okay, cause another actually maybe example of issues and damages that we make and we cause to the environment by actually polluting this one here. I need a word, polluting the air. So uh, this way you can make your answer. So this is about the second part, and of course the third part. And you think the problem you didn't answer, maybe what will happen in the future, you need to think about it. So, and just maybe again you need to talk about ecosystem. So for example, maybe in the future, okay, we will see more serious issues, we will have more serious issues with ecosystem this way. Okay, so you need to make the third part of this. Actually, maybe you need to talk about this one again, but there is no more time to complete this part, so I need to do something. I want you to think about part two and write your answer to me, okay? Using the words, phrases that we learned. And the next session, again, we keep going with this part because we have part three and of course the rest of part two that we're going to discuss again. And I will give you more alternatives to be used in your answer. But here for this week, actually, this is your assignment. Think about it, make your answer, and send it to me. And no worries if you make mistake, I will check it and we'll talk about it again, okay?
Okay.
Well, Alex, do you have any questions related to this part?
No.
Okay, so that's it. And thank you. Have a great day. Enjoy your time. Don't forget about writing your essay. And I'm sorry, you say essay assignment. Do it and send it to
Yeah.
me. And just this. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.